Hey everyone, welcome back to the Girl of Gen Z podcast. My name is Clarissa. I'm your host, and today I have a special guest by the name of Jefferson Marshall. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. How was your drive in this morning?
It was good. It was cold. I think I need to trade in my car with the steering wheel heater.
Yeah?
But other than that, I think I'm all right.
You have like a butt warmer and all that?
I do have a seat warmer. But
you still feel like you need more?
Yeah, no, I think it's broken, bro. Like it just keeps getting hotter, and then by the time like 20 minutes deep into a drive, like your back is like
ice.
No, it's like hot.
Oh,
like
it's really
hot. It doesn't stop getting warmer.
Oh,
so like
you're like in a sauna.
I get home, it's like red, and like my back is red and stuff. So I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, it's like I need to trade this.
That's hilarious. Okay, well, one day we'll make that upgrade.
Yeah.
So Jefferson and I know each other way back in school, and now he has moved on to bigger and better things and is a video editor and digital video editor. Am I saying that?
Yeah, video editor, digital content editor.
Content editor. Yeah. Okay. So let's throw it back before we get into all the goods and the juicy stuff. Let's throw it back to your childhood, your upbringing. Where did you grow up?
Well, born in Scarborough, raised in Markham. Just grew up playing sports, baseball and hockey, respectively. And pretty normal childhood. Went to elementary school and then moved on to high school. It was kind of weird how like I ended up in like Humber, my first college. Like it's crazy how things work out sometimes, because I was going to, I was going to do business.
I remember you saying that when I first met you.
Really?
Yeah, I think you did mention that.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to go to business, and that's kind of a program that's like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna go down to business. Sorry to the business program people out here, but yeah, like
what kind of courses did you take in high school that like influenced you to go and take the path you did?
It wasn't a program. It was literally if I didn't have a fifth spare, that's what it was. Cause one day I was chilling, and it's funny because like I took gym throughout my whole like high school duration of high school.
Like you took it as your elective every year?
Yeah. And then so my last year was split. It had grade 11 and 12s. So there was this grade 11, his name was Thomas. And he had a fifth spare too, but usually like almost every day, like obviously you just leave. If you have a spare fifth, you're gone.
Yeah, you're not staying for the last...
Exactly. It's like, bye.
I'm going to go to the library and do homework, says everyone.
Exactly.
Says no one.
So like what happened was like, I saw him in the hall, and we're just like, yo, like let's go to the caf, like let's chill. Like we usually never do that because we both had spares. So we just went in the caf and chilled, and then we're just talking about sports. And then like right in the middle of the conversation, he was like, yo, you should do journalism. You should be your sports writer, actually. That's what he said. And then I was like, and this is weeks after, you know, the application process opened. So I already applied. I did my 3 already.
So I can't remember the process. Could you not take out and switch yet? Was there a deadline that you had to have everything in and you could not change those?
So what I thought was like, I did my 3 programs. And
for college, okay, yeah. But I think you had five as like a limit, or was it 5 or 3 they paid for and 2 you had to pay extra, something like that?
Something like that.
Okay, so
but at the time, like all I was hearing was 3, so I thought I was done. So I heard that, and I'm like,
darn.
Too late for that. Business, let's go.
So which ones did you pick? What schools and what program at each school?
They were all the same. They were business marketing. Seneca, Fanshawe, and Humber. And so I'm basically sitting there, I'm like, well, like that sucks because I'm not going to be able to do this. And then
so you thought so in yourself as well, like maybe he's right, like I should be going that route, but it's too late.
Well, yeah, right away I was like, yeah, I'd definitely rather do that than business. But it was too late for me. So I, you know, the whole day I got home, I'm like, wow, I'm just gonna be working at Wendy's. Like that's the way it's gonna be. And so
are you implying that because most people who come out from business can't find a job right away?
No, I'm not saying that. You know, don't get me in trouble now. I got some friends in business, and don't get me in trouble.
I'm trying to see where you're coming from.
No. I'm just saying, like, if I'm doing something that I don't really like, I'm not infatuated with, I'm not gonna go far. Because if I don't care, then I'm not gonna go far, right?
Okay.
So,
It wasn't your passion.
so it definitely wasn't my passion. But yeah, so I sat home. I was like, oh no, and then I go up to like one of my teachers, shout Miss Webster,
In high school.
high school,
Okay.
yeah. And the next day, and I was like, yo, look, like this happened, and like, man, I don't know what to do. And she's like, yo, you have like 2 more. As long as it's two of those schools that you apply for, then you're good. Because I couldn't apply for 4 schools, so I just said Humber, Seneca, Fanshawe. I couldn't do another school. But
Okay.
if I did journalism at Humber or Fanshawe, I could still do it because I already applied there.
Oh.
So you can do 5.
Okay.
But
But you're applying
But
to
2 of them have to be the same
school.
Yeah.
Okay, so different program, same school.
Yeah.
You are still in the bubble of you're allowed
Yeah.
to do. Okay.
Yeah, and she's like, you
So
have
she's
2
kinda
more.
saved you in
Yeah,
this
she was like,
case.
you have 2 more shots at this, and I was like, okay, bet. So so it was like couple days before the deadline too, and so I apply to Humber, I apply to Fanshawe for journalism, and God knows where I'd be. Like God knows where I'd be if I did not have a fifth spare, if I decided to stay home go home that day, or Thomas wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like God knows where I'd be.
What's Thomas doing right now?
I have no idea. Shout out Thomas, but like I have no idea.
It really helped you in that
Yeah,
make or break
but
moment.
that's the thing too. That's the crazy thing too. That's the butterfly effect because it's like me and Thomas, like we were cool. We were really cool. I remember that day he crossed Lavin in front of all the girls' gym class. That was hilarious. But the man fell. It was funny. But that's not the point. That's not the point. He got crossed. But yeah, like we were cool. And this is like one of the first years they had that split. So they had that split of 11 12s. He was grade 11, I was 12.
Mm-hmm.
God knows if that didn't happen because we wouldn't even have known each other. That's how
Right.
we knew each other.
Right.
And maybe if I didn't take the elective. So there's a lot of routes that could have led to me not,
Getting to where you are now.
getting me to where I am now. And then I went to Humber, literally, the best 3 years of my life.
So was that right after grade 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
you took no gap year.
no
You
gap
went
year.
right into it because
No
now
gap
you
year.
knew what you wanted
I was
to do.
I was a baby when I was at Humber too.
Oh,
I was
I
like
remember seeing little pictures. You're like,
don't
Humber.
don't.
But were you strong in writing in high school?
I believe like I don't remember.
But if your
because
friend,
I did a
if your
lot
friend
of
Thomas thought you could
yeah
go to
because I
journalism, he
was
must have
able to
known.
speak
Well,
like I was able to speak like about sports a lot like and,
It just
and
seemed like a
thoroughly
good fit.
but yeah he said yeah it would be a good fit but I've always been an okay writer but
Do you think you got better as you progressed
oh
with
yeah
your schooling?
definitely
So then you went to Humber
yeah
for the exact program, which is journalism.
journalism
Okay, and that was 3
and
years.
3 years
How was that experience?
greatest 3 years of my life
Really?
for real
And
for
you
real.
lived on campus, right?
yeah
How was that Red's experience? Because I know it's people say it's different than like a typical like Waterloo or London type one. So
definitely that first year of college, best year of my life, period. Shout out 2014, 2015. Shout out R7. That was our floor. So basically another dilemma. So I got in. So I had to do a test. I remember I had to do this test.
it's like a little English test.
Yeah, but it was like extra because like Humber's journalism thing is like journalism program is kind of good. Like it's really good. So what
they
I had
make
to
you take this
do was
test?
like I had to take this news test.
How was this?
I don't really follow the news. So. like so
I only do sports.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
So was it like political science? Like what did they put in this test?
It was just like today's news. And I just
So
remember
you had to be current. Like you need to know
I had
what's
to be
going on.
current, and I had no idea what that like heck was going on. And
So is this a written test? Was it on the computer? Did you have what's that person that
I
watches
had to
over
go.
you?
I had to go to Humber. I had to take a day off school,
High school.
at high school, and go to Humber to do this test. And I remember me and my mom. I didn't drive at the time, so
Shout out to the parents. who
yeah.
drove
Shout
their
out,
kids
shout out, mom, real
everywhere.
quick. For real, I wouldn't be here. But so we drive up. And I was like, "Well, Mom, I don't know where I'm going, so
Did they
then
not give you a room number or anything?
they gave me a room number, but I was like,
You didn't write it down.
Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared. So like I had to like So it's me and my mom walking through campus, like 17-year-old me walking through campus with my mother. And then it's like all these college students. I felt so uncomfortable.
But you must have felt a little more comfortable having her with you.
No, because I was like, I'm here with my mom.
Yeah,
and then
but
everybody
you
else
needed
is
her.
like, what?
You said you were
To find the place, but at the
but
same
that's
time, yeah, like I was like,
leave, Mom.
Yeah, I was like, Mom, you're embarrassed. Go get in the car. Like, what the heck? So yeah, so I remember walking through campus, and then I find the place, I find the room, and I remember in the car right on the way there, I'm on cbc.ca, like, okay, what's happening? Like, I don't know.
Trying to get your like quick
Yeah,
fix.
exactly. So, man, yeah. So definitely,
How was this test?
definitely the test was.
Not easy.
I think I did okay because I think
Was it
that
multiple
car ride
choice?
there with the CBC definitely helped me out. But some of the questions, it's like I don't even know. It's like, who's the prime minister? I'm like, I don't know.
How would you
I know,
not know that?
I'm kidding.
Jefferson.
It was Stephen Harper at the time.
Okay,
so
we got one.
Yeah,
one right. at
I
least.
got that one definitely.
So was it multiple choice or was
It was definitely multiple
a
choice.
mix of writing as well?
I think there was short answer too. But at the end, I think this is what got me. At the end was an essay. And it was like, why you want to be in this program. And I think I just said sports, period, and then just handed it.
No, you
No,
did
I
not.
didn't. That's a joke. But
Could you imagine the teacher's like 10 out of 10?
Exactly. You're in. It's like Harvard. Like, oh, Harvard? Oh, yeah, you're in too. But yeah, man, like that's what it was. And I
when
think
did
the
you get the
essay part,
results?
you didn't get results. You either got accepted or rejected. So it was like I got accepted. I was like, all right, blessed, because
You don't know what your next
yeah,
plan
I
was?
didn't know what the next step was. I was like, okay, I guess I'm coming here for marketing then. So yeah, man, like that's what it was. And even then the next dilemma was, since I was trying so hard to like get into this program, I totally messed up on applying for res, because this is in Rexdale. Shout out Rexdale. But yeah, like so this is kind of far from me, living in Markham. And yeah, like, man, so
Wait, you said you grew up in Scarborough though.
I'm
then-
born in Scarborough,
And then
raised
you
in
Markham.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
just so they know. So then you're in Markham at the time
Yeah.
when you wanted to
Yeah.
move to res.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, so once I get that back, like I was like, oh, I forgot to apply to res. And then I look, and then my mom was so cheesed. She was like, yeah, you're like 200th on the wait list. And I'm like, I guess I'm going to Seneca.
Because were you thinking you'd have to drive? You wouldn't drive that.
Oh, hell no. Well, at the time I didn't drive, right? So
When did you get your license? Side note.
I think a year or two later.
Okay.
Yeah, a year or two later. And
Well, that's a big deal if you're like.
yeah. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
like, I guess my mom had to drive me every day then.
Sure, she would have loved
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Because of your mess.
So, can you walk me to my class? I don't know where it is. So yeah, like that's what it was. And yeah, so 200 on the wait list, and I'm like, man, like this is awful. Then so month goes by, and I get in. I'm like, how is
So
this
did
even
they
possible?
filter through those 200 people, or you
Yeah.
think you got bumped up somehow?
I don't know, but somehow I made it. And
I'm sure there would have been some people that are like, oh, I already picked another school. Like,
Yeah,
thank you for
yeah,
the-
definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
okay, so
Definitely.
you-
Because this was like May,
Wow.
right? So this was May. So like,
So you still didn't make
a
any
lot of people-
decisions then.
Well, I accepted Humber,
Mm-hmm.
but
It was waiting game.
yeah, it was a waiting game. Like I was in the program, but I didn't have. I was homeless. So what it was, yeah. So wait list, got in, and I was like, okay. So I applied to the double suites. Boom. I'm good. I'm gonna have a roommate. I'm gonna have like so many friends. So, what happened was, I accidentally applied to the single dorm.
How do you accidentally? This all happens to you. This all happened like.
This is my life, Chris. I'm just telling you my
Saying
life, and this is
everything.
what happens, okay? So don't judge me for it.
Okay, so you applied to a single room by accident.
So I look, so that I found out, because when they said you're accepted, they're like, oh, single dorm. I'm like, wait, what?
So you have
So-
to like backtrack your steps and see.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, I gotta accept this or I'm homeless. Like, it's either this or nothing. So I was like, okay, bet. So I go on the website, like, and I'm like, I'll go on the website and I'm like, all right, just prepare yourself. And I look at I look up Humber single dorms. I look at it. It's a jail cell. I was so pissed. I was so pissed. The room. I can't, like, a jail cell is bigger. Like, I'm not even trying to like over exaggerate. Like, if you lived on Humber single dorm, you know, and I know some of y'all watching this right now, but oh my God. So I look at it. I'm like, wow, no roommate. I'm at no friends. This is awful.
So was it a floor with all single rooms then?
Yeah, there's a floor of all single rooms.
So there's no. Did you guys share bathrooms?
Yeah. Communal bathrooms.
Was there like a little like living room type thing on the floor?
Yeah,
like,
there's a lounge.
Lounge.
Yeah. And that turned out, having a single dorm turned out to be the best thing to ever happen to me, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what you thought was such a negative thing
exactly.
turned out to a positive
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, my first year in college, man, like, holy, like, that was a really fun time. Because I remember my first day, I came in, and I'm the last. So it's a whole hall. It's 44 rooms, and I'm the 44th room.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
On the waiting
Yeah,
list,
exactly.
Of course
Yeah, they're just like, just put them over there in the corner, and I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm the last room. I'm the last room to the right on the left, and yeah. So I come in, and I'm like, I didn't even have a laptop at that time. So I move in. My parents move me in, and I don't even have a laptop. So I'm literally, they're like, okay, bye, after like everything's done. Because they're like, okay, we'll get you a laptop in time for college. And I'm like, okay, bet. They didn't give me the laptop in time for college. So so I'm just like, all right, bet. Like, okay. So I'm literally sitting in this room. They move me in, they leave, and I'm just sitting with all my boxes like this. There's nothing to do. And I had a slide phone. I had a Samsung slide phone. If you remember that, you were day one. But I had a Samsung slide phone. So there's nothing really much I could do on that.
He had like Wi-Fi. But questionable.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even know the Wi-Fi password at that time. I don't know. There wasn't Wi-Fi yet. Because
what kind of school is this?
You would have to go in the lounge to get the Wi-Fi, and I didn't know my I might have known my student credentials. Yeah, I would know my student credentials because you would have to do the online portion before you actually move in.
Mm-hmm.
But you would have to go to the lounge to get that Wi-Fi. You would have to get Rogers. Should I say that? Yeah. Rogers to install your stuff, and so you buy it's extra. So Wi-Fi's extra, TV like cable's extra.
On
like
res?
On res, bro. On res.
What
so
kind
I'm
of
like,
school is this?
The best school in the world. Shout out Humber.
I hope they have changed their ways though since then.
Probably not.
You don't think so?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Any school
not.
I've been to, they've had like a normal connection that you connect with like your room number and whatever. You're like logging into your account.
Nope. That's why I was ecstatic when I got to Fanshawe. I was like, hey, free Wi-Fi.
I don't have to wait for Rogers to come
exactly.
and set this up.
So I'm sitting in my room and I'm like, boom. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. And we have our floor meeting. And I'm like, all right, cool. All right, cool. And then I would go back to my room and
sit there with your slide phone.
I have my I sit there with my slide phone. No text, no I miss you, no.
Did you meet anyone in this meeting? No? Oh my gosh. It's so different from when I knew you at Fanshawe.
That's the thing though. Yeah, I'll get to that later, but that's the thing. Yeah, like it started off so crappy and it worked out though. So what happened was like, yeah, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I guess I'll play like FIFA or something. Like I only had my PS4 with me. And I didn't have cable, but I had Rogers on. Oh, I did have cable. Maybe like the second day. So I was watching a lot of like Kitchen Nightmares because it was the only thing on demand that I would actually watch. So I was watching Kitchen Nightmares and I didn't watch it before, but I was like, this Gordon Ramsay guy's kind of funny. But yeah, so that's what I was doing, playing FIFA, watching Kitchen Nightmares.
So how's the actual schooling portion?
And school. Yeah, school portion was good. Yeah.
Do you think it helps build your? You don't remember?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Do you think it helped like build your writing skills and
For sure.
further your career?
Oh
in
yeah,
that
like
sense?
definitely. That journalism program is definitely all what was advertised. It was advertised to be this like oh, best in Ontario, best in Canada, blah blah. Blah. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right.
And do you think that they held it up to their standard? You
Yeah,
think it was
because
accurate?
they worked you like crazy. They worked you like crazy. So it's not like when I got to Fanshawe. One of the reasons I did go to Fanshawe because it was easier. Because it was easier. Because you like Fanshawe had what an hour to like the most time in a class was like 2 hours. At Humber, every class was what is it? 3 hours?
There was a couple of Fanshawe we had 3 though. At least in film for second year, but you're on TV, so I wouldn't know what your.
Yeah, no, TV didn't have something like that.
Didn't have 3 hours.
It was hands on though. If it was 3
Oh, you're
hours,
talking
it was
about like
hands-on.
lecture 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like sit there.
Every
and, like, listen.
single class at Humber, every single one was 3 hours, like 3 hours plus. I think it was 3 hours 20 minutes, and I thought that was like the normal thing.
And you got a break
and then,
in between though.
Yeah, they would give you a break, but
I think they're meant to.
that's
Or they have to ask.
it's like 10, like it's like a 10.
Yeah, it's like
break.
literally to go stretch and pee.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have time to go get
exactly,
food.
Exactly. So it wasn't much, and I thought that was the norm. And then when I got to Fanshawe, and it
This
was
is a
like
whole
an
new
hour.
world.
Yeah, I was like, yes. So I was like, I'm sleeping. I get days off. I only had 1 day off in my whole 3 years of like one semester with a day off. That's what I meant.
Oh my god.
In my all 3 years, and that was my first semester.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, so it was tough. It was really tough.
Did you have an internship opportunity? You don't have to say where you did it. If you don't want
I
to,
did.
But
I did.
did you like your placement?
That's a story in itself.
Okay.
Yeah, like I did.
Sum
I
it
did.
up. Was it accurate for what you wanted to do?
Yeah, definitely.
You were placed in a good
Definitely.
place.
It was where I wanted to be, like growing up, like since day one. I was like, I'm gonna work at blank. Like
Sports related place.
Yes. I'm gonna work at blank one day. And that was like my whole childhood. Like all summer I would get up in the morning. The first thing I would do is like get my toaster strudel, go downstairs and watch that channel.
Oh wow.
And
Full circle then.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Crazy.
And
so
then
you enjoyed that placement?
yeah, like
for the
it
most
was
part?
good, but when I got there, like it was fine. Like it was really great opportunity. But when I got there, this whole time, and I get in there, I'm like, wow, like I'm actually here. Like I'm 19 at the time.
You're just like
And
a
yeah,
kid in a candy
exactly. And I'm like this is it. Like I did it. And then I got there, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like for real. Like I was like, man, like
Wait, you didn't want to be associated with that channel, or you didn't want to be working for them? Or you still want to be in
no, it
sports?
wasn't something like that. It was like I just didn't like it. I just didn't like the work. Like I just didn't. It was.
You
it
didn't
was
like what work you were given though?
Um.
Because I find as an intern, it depends where
No,
you're placed.
no. It wasn't like. Yeah, I wasn't getting coffee. I wasn't like
So you're-
stereotypical like
Okay.
intern.
But you're absorbing what other people are doing, and you're like, I don't want to do that.
No, what I was doing, entry level responsibilities. So I wasn't doing like intern crap. Like I was doing like if I were to get hired on, like this is what I would doing. This
That's
is what
great.
I would be doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was doing what they were offering, and
So what was that?
it was writing. It was writing for the show. So basically, so it's sports related, right? So I'm choosing my words
Words
very carefully
carefully.
here because I'm not trying to get sued out here. But yeah, so yeah, it's sports related, and you write the script for the anchors, and they do it on the live show. And so basically, you would watch the game, and you would clip it, and you would be very careful, and you would clip it, and you would hand the editor note with the dialogue, so the dialogue would fit the visuals. You give it to them, they edit it, they have the video. You go to a highlight manager, and they would be like, okay, this is you read it to them, which is so nervous, like
You out loud?
like, well, yeah, out loud
you
to them.
stand there,
Yeah,
literally-
exactly, yeah, and like
Just to the host
I'm-
or to the manager or both?
No, just the highlight manager.
Okay.
But that's still nerve-wracking
Yeah,
in
no, for
itself
sure.
because I'm having flashbacks to grade 4 with like reading out loud. I'm like,
Aw.
like I'm like yeah. So I'm just like, I'm not a great reader. So yeah. So but I did it. It was good. It was a great learning experience.
For sure, I'm sure that really put your skills to the test and helped you grow as a writer and person.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Cause yeah. But it was definitely heartbreaking. Like everything that you would aspire to like do is like, yeah, I'm gonna work there. Since I was like
Your dream
a
job.
little child,
Yeah.
and I get there, I'm like, I hate this. So like,
So you hated what you were doing?
yeah, it was just repetitive. Like
You
I
couldn't see
just
yourself doing
didn't-
it for like till you're old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't do this every single day. It was super repetitive. It was really high stress, and like in this field, like pretty much every job's high stress, but at the same time, I don't know. I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it. And
Okay.
I'm just like,
Okay.
bro, like this ain't for me.
So then what pulled you to this realization of what you wanted to do next and the schooling you chose next?
That's kind of the thing. Cause they worked you so hard. And this is the thing that scared me. And now that I'm doing adulting now, I knew this day was coming.
Now that I'm doing adulting, can we take that
Yeah,
in?
exactly. It's heartbreaking that I'm doing adulting now because I've been ever since that internship, I've been fearing this day. I've been fearing this day because when I was doing that internship, I was actually in the suites. I was rooming with one of the people I met in first year, and so I did actually get to the suites instead of the single dorms. But
Is this like halfway through the first
this
year?
this is third year.
So
This
you were in res all 3 years.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
not like the typical you're in res first year, then you
Yeah,
move out with
yeah,
housemates the next year, and
yeah.
next year following.
Well, because we lived in Rexdale.
So it wasn't really a town for like housing, is it?
Yeah, you can definitely get housing in Rexdale, but
It was just
like
not
you
common
have to
for
get the right one.
students?
You have to get the right one. I remember one of my buddies. He lived in a nice one. Like he found a really nice one, but it's few and far between, really. And
So you're better off staying in res.
I can't cook, and that was a big deal. And their meal plans were so nice. Fanshawe's, fix it, bro. Fix it now, because like I would run out of like meal plan money in like February. No. Maybe March. RJ, he would run out in like October.
Shout out RJ.
Yeah, shout out RJ. Like this man, oh my god.
That was his Jefferson's roommate, by the way, in
at
Fanshawe.
At Fanshawe.
We'll get to there. And he was also in our program as well.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out RJ, but you need to work on your diet, bro. Like I've never seen a man eat so poorly. Oh my god. I love you to death. I love you.
You just said you can't cook,
Yes.
but you go to the gym and are like, I would say, you know, an active, fit
Mhm.
person. So then what do you get fast food wise that's quote healthy and helps you stay the shape you are? Like,
Why
I
you
don't
gotta out me
understand.
like this?
I just don't
Why
understand
you
because
gotta out me
you
like
say you
this?
don't cook, but
I don't cook, but I try to eat healthy. So literally everything I got from the Fanshawe, because I didn't work out when I was at Humber. I did the second semester, third year, but that's when I started. So that was like 3 years ago. But at Fanshawe, ever since then, yeah. But so what I would do at Fanshawe was just eat chicken. Like literally anything with chicken in it. I was like, that's healthy enough.
like
Boom.
grilled
And
or breaded.
Grilled.
Okay.
Because that's the healthiest option. And Fanshawe, bro, y'all need to fix it, bro. And like, cause the selection of food there was
poor.
so bad. Like, I thought one of the reasons I came because I heard the food was good too. Cause like I remember my last year at Humber, we were doing our magazine class, and one of my friends, or a whole group of them in the program, had to, because we did this. It's called Sweat Magazine. Shout out Sweat Magazine, and it's the OCAA official magazine of the OCAA, and it's done at Humber. Shout out Humber again. But yeah, like what it was they did this story, and I guess they had to go to Fanshawe to do it. So they went all the way to London to do this story. And one of my friends was doing it. He came back and he was like, yo, They have all day breakfast. They got this. They got that. The selection is so much better than Humber. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, yo, yeah, Tyler, you
Or like, where
screwed
did
me,
he
bro.
go? I'm trying to think at Fanshawe where
He went to Oasis.
and that's where they'd have all day breakfast.
The all day breakfast, the Sunnies.
I don't really know. I never did that when I was there. I was also not on res though.
That's not res though.
But
That's on campus.
I know, but like I find that people that are on res go to places like that to eat, as opposed to like I always packed my food like every single day.
Oh, okay. All right. I packed my food. Okay. But yeah, like yeah. So he came back. He's like, yeah, all day breakfast, so much selection, blah blah. I'm like, okay, I'm going to Fanshawe. What you mean? Because at that third year, I was like, okay, like because I got introduced into the behind the scenes kind of stuff, and I kind of knew, even when I was doing that internship in my third year at Humber, I kind of knew, like, okay, I'm going back to school after this. So if I don't get hired on, I'm not going to be, like, worried. And when I did that internship, yeah, I kind of already knew I had school in my back pocket, the Fanshawe. But I didn't know where I was going to go. But I was looking, and obviously I chose Fanshawe. And
this was for the television and film production.
Yeah. So I think I applied to Humber and Fanshawe
For the same program.
And I was like, I'm either coming back for 2 more years in Humber or I'm going to Fanshawe. And since, like I said before, like born in Scarborough, raised in Markham, lived in Rexdale for like 3 school years, I've never been outside the GTA really. And I was like,
you ready for that leap?
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Let's go to London.
So did you get into Humber though?
Bad mistake. What?
I
got into Humber, and that was a hard choice.
Okay.
That was such a hard choice.
You wanted to move then because you wanted to get out of the GTA.
Yeah, there was a lot of reasons. The food, one of them. That was a bad mistake too. But yeah, like honestly, because it was and remember, I don't know if you heard the story, but the Norovirus at Humber.
I think you mentioned it.
Yeah, that was really bad.
When did that happen?
That was so bad. My third year, second semester. I remember that day like
so clearly.
Yeah, it was so bad. It was like The Walking Dead. I swear to God, because like I came back from the gym, and I see like 2 of my friends. They're sitting in the caf. And they're like, what are they? They're just sitting there, and then they're like, yeah, like my roommate, like she's throwing up, like da da da. I hope everything's okay. I'm like, oh, that's weird. That sucks. Blah blah blah.
She's probably just sick. Whatever.
Yeah, she's probably just sick. Blah blah blah. Like too much Henny. Like it's all good. So we go back, and I go back to my room, and the group chat is like popping. It's like I threw up. I just threw up. I just threw up.
Like all these different
people, and we're like, yo, what the heck is going on? And so what's it called? So I'm just confused. No, I was scared though. I was like, what's going on? Well, I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. So I'm like, oh, like this is weird. And everybody that seemed okay at the time, like later on, they're just like, man, I just threw up. And it's like I can't stop throwing up, and I'm like, wow, this is bad. So me and my roommate and another guy that doesn't live on campus, but he one of my friends, he had a car, so I was like, let's go to Chinese while everyone's dying. So we go we go downstairs, and it was like anarchy. Like there were so many people at the front, and there were like all just flush their whole face, and they're just like sitting there like with sick. Buckets under them, and just sick. And I'm like, what is going on? Before we even went down, I look out of my window, and I've never seen something like this. I didn't even know this existed. There was a ambulance bus.
Okay.
It was like
it took everybody in the
it's a bus. It's a bus, but it's like an ambulance, but it's a bus. I'm like, that's how many people were sick. And I look down, I'm like, what is going on? So so I'm like, okay, let's just get Chinese. And then we're checking our phone.
Like we go out, whatever, we come back. And then when I thought it was like, obviously after seeing that, scene of the ambulance and stuff, like I was like, it's serious. But then when I got like a snap from like one of our friends, it's her in like the hospital, and she's hooked up to IVs. I'm like, yo, what is going on? So I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna just stay in my room all day.
So you got your Chinese?
I got my Chinese.
You went back to your room.
Yeah,
and you,
back.
like,
I'm like, bye. And I remember, the next day, those who survived, still had class. I was like, class is gonna be canceled. I don't care. Like, I don't care. Class still went on the next day. It was like half the people. It was definitely a purge. Like, it was crazy. And it was definitely like The Walking Dead. It was like half of the people were contaminated. And I just remember the journalism class, like we walk in, they're like, okay, you know what we're going to do today. So we did all the stories on this outbreak. I got interviewed by City News. I remember that. I was on TV.
Do you have it on tape somewhere?
I think I might have it saved on my Snap. I don't know.
That's so funny.
But yeah. And
well, I mean, it's not funny. But it's nice
hilarious.
That
People were like dying. That's hilarious.
No, it's nice that you got a little shining moment.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Just to be clear.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was really bad though. But
okay.
That was definitely. I was like, all right, I'm about to head to Fanshawe.
So that was your decision.
Yeah, for real. Like I was like, cause I'm not even crazy. I've been eating this food for like 3 years now, and I was like, I can't do this. Yeah, I can't do this again. And then I remember I was kind of jacked about going to like Fanshawe.
And you picked Res again?
Yeah, Res again.
Did you have like your top choices? Like, did you know anything about
I didn't know anything. So I was
this
like,
time, were you
don't
on the
make
wait
me.
list?
Wow.
You should be the first one to get
yeah,
email
exactly.
this time.
No, I was in no wait list.
First choice Res or do they randomly select where you go?
I don't really know about that process.
Because
I was like, just don't make me homeless again. That's basically what it was.
It's way too far. This
yeah,
time.
exactly. Yeah, I can't commute. So I remember I was like, okay, like new school, like let's go, like da. Because my first year in Humber was great. So I'm like, my first year at Fanshawe, this is gonna be epic. So I remember driving up with my mother and sister. And I was like, all right, let's go. We're driving. And then we take the exit. I'm like, all right, here we go. Like, da-da. And then I just remember looking out the window. I'm like, okay. I was like, all right, what's going on? It got really country. And for me, those 2 years at Fanshawe, that really I found a lot about myself. It's like I cannot live in the country like this. Like I'm a city guy for sure.
And by country, you mean it's less Toronto,
it's
Mississauga
more rural.
feeling.
Yes,
more rural.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's literally like downtown London is the only like pocket.
Yeah,
that's city feeling. Ish.
Yeah,
Ish.
I remember one of the first days. A couple of my friends from London, they showed me around, and they said they were like, "Oh, this is that." We're walking 2 blocks, and they're like, "Okay, that's it." I'm like, "That's it." I was like, "Okay, that's cute." But oh man, like it was different. It was definitely. How did you like London?
I liked it for school.
Yeah.
I'm on the same page with you as saying I would definitely not want to move out there and like raise a family. I mean, it seems a little more quiet and nice to do so, but it's when you grow up in the GTA, it's a little bit more of that busy hustle life and culture that switching to that
Culture is
isn't it's very, very different, a different change for sure. But I did like it for school. For schooling, it just felt like, like a Waterloo or a Guelph. Like it felt like a school place because it was such a big university in the town, which was Western University, and then Fanshawe College being the other big school. But yeah, that was my thoughts. But
yeah, like now if you Western, now how is that? Like, did you live first year in Reza Western?
I did.
How was that?
I did. It was awesome. Like it was exactly kind of how you explained your Humber experience. I mean, like minus the part about you being the private room and you not loving it, and then it being like positive thing. I was in a double, And then there were another couple girls that were in a double, and then us four, shared a bathroom.
Yeah.
And then you'd go out of our doors, and there'd be the hallway. And my whole floor was my program, which was media theory and production and media information technoculture. So, like, it was like a good group, you know, when you had tests and assignments and exams going on, we would all be feeling the same stress and be able to help each other out in that sense. Yeah, the lifestyle and the culture is very different in London for sure. And like week 1, it's party central. Like the week after, just knowing you'll be sick for the week. you go out late, like you stay up all night, and then you're drinking every single day. Like it's just it's wild, and there's not many people of age at the time on the floor. So there's the one person trying to do the booze run with somebody else's car because they don't have a car.
Yep. That's how it goes.
Yeah, it was a good experience for sure. It was very different switching to Fanshawe because the lifestyle and res is different.
Yeah.
Is different. I'm not gonna say they don't party, but
they don't party.
It's not as extreme as you see if you ever type in like a Western Hoco or university like a week.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But what was advertised to me was like Fanshawe.
That's what everyone kept saying, but I didn't really see the correlation with the name.
Yeah, like facts. Like it wasn't there. Like I was like, that's why I was so jacked. Like I got in, and I remember my first year. I was like, boom, like this is it. Like this is my last hurrah, because I knew I was done after.
You know what though? Love our program. I do. But I would say the majority of them were not huge partiers, and I think that contributes to what Fanshawe would be.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like
exactly.
maybe something like, I don't want to say nursing because nursing has like really intense stuff, but you can just kind of see the vibes of like the fitness program and like the guys and girls that are kind of in that, and you can see them at the gym and their vibes, and you're like, they're what Fanshawe would be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I get exactly what you mean. But for the thing is that like there weren't a lot of programs. Like maybe fitness, that was a good program to choose, because there's not a lot of programs. I look at the people and I'm like, oh, that guy part. Like that, you know,
that's the one.
Exactly. There is not a lot of
10
people.
cake stands.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah, like Henny to the face. Like we're going in. But like no, it was like I didn't look at a lot of people not in those hallways. Like
no, it was. You wouldn't often get people being like, "Hey, we're going out to this wild party tonight." It was not like that.
Was not. I thought that's what it was going to be, and
So
I knew
completely misled.
The
Maybe
food,
it used to be like that. Who knows? Like 5 years ago.
Probably not. My sister went there, so that's
She said the
definitely
same
not.
thing?
No, she's one of those people.
So when she giving you some insight, like, "Oh, you've got it all wrong. Like it's not Fanshawe at all."
Well, I didn't even talk to her. I just knew for a fact. I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh. Tunnel vision, whatever you
yeah,
say.
exactly. Yeah,
No,
I was like, I already know for a fact it's
Wild.
Fanshawe.
So
And-
how was transitioning into Fanshawe?
Oh man,
With the culture shock, you feeling like it was a more rural
Well,
area?
I knew that looking out that window off that exit was definitely like a wake up call.
Because
Like,
would you say that
it's
more
not-
people at Humber were from the GTA area and people at Fanshawe
Yeah.
were more
Like Tilsonburg?
yeah, from like
I don't know
from
why
very,
I
very
said that. Sorry, Tilsonburg.
quiet small towns.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
they're yeah.
I did ask my sister about that though, because I was like, how many like GTA people are there? And she like, there's a few that was a lie. That was a lie. But
Like
I just been lied to like
a
my
lie
whole
as
life.
in there's way less.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say it was like me, you,
What's it? Oh,
RJ, kind of.
RJ. What is it? Ancaster.
Burlington.
Ancaster.
You moved?
Was never in Burlington.
Somebody was in Burlington.
Not RJ.
Okay, sorry, RJ. Somebody was in Burlington. I can't put my finger on it. And then there was someone else who was in Toronto.
Someone else is from Saga. What's his name? He smoked hookah in his dorm and then got kicked out.
Okay, well, we're not gonna name his name, but there was select few. But our program also wasn't massive, so yeah, that was kind of like the roundup of that.
I'm still trying to think of the name, but yeah.
It's okay. So how was the workload?
Oh,
Comparison.
easy at Fanshawe.
So in first year you do TV and film. You get a mix of both, and then they force you in second year to pick one and just go with that stream. So how was that?
That was fine. that was fine because I always knew I was going to do TV. But the thing was, remember they sat us all down and it was like, okay, so this is how your next year is gonna go at the end of first year. Remember that?
Yes.
So I was led to believe, and Humber had the greatest internship coordination.
I remember us talking about this at the
Yeah,
gym.
we did. Yeah.
You're like,
And-
they have their own department.
Yeah.
And sorry, I just spat everywhere. They have their own department, and they really narrow it down and help you
Yeah.
find what's best suitable for you, and will help you get on the career path after
Right.
school. Continue.
That basically that. Like they just did everything for you. Like
That was Humber.
you list like I listed 3 places I wanted to go. They gave me 2 places with like the acceptance thing and like, okay, just send in your cover letter and resume and boom, like we'll take a look at it, and got accepted to both and took the one. And
How long was that process? Like quick?
it was quick. It was really quick.
Which now,
Yeah.
our process with Fanshawe wasn't as quick.
Oh my God. Well, I thought that's what it is. Like I thought that's what it would be. And I just, by the way they were wording it, and I guess I didn't ask enough questions. Maybe that's on me, but I just thought that's the way it was going to be at Fanshawe, and it just wasn't. Because like when it was time to really look at these internships, because we had this whole class that was advertised to be,
Was it career development?
yeah,
or
with
career-
Marilyn.
yeah.
And she, it was all
Wonderful lady, by the way.
yeah, she was great.
Beautiful
She
lady.
was great. But
But the course curriculum
Yeah,
for
the
that course was weak.
Yeah.
It was quite opposite of what Jefferson had at Humber.
Yeah. Because I thought it was like, I thought that was the thing where you like kind of hand in the places you want to work and they just
They
do
help
the
you
magic.
Sort it out. Yeah.
And
No.
that's not what it was. Because I was like, because it got to like November or something pretty late. Because like when
so
you
the internship started March.
uh
If you were to do it according to their plan.
yeah, anytime second semester really.
But if it ended up being switched around where you were on first semester, then you would
Yeah.
just do your schooling later. Like
Yeah.
they're pretty accommodating in that
Yeah,
sense.
exactly.
But preferable, you'd want to go where everyone else is going, because then you weren't out of the loop of the school year.
Right. And like I thought like we were gonna be able to just, hand in, this is what I want to do, and boom. Sorry. And yeah, so when we got there, we were just doing resumes, we were doing all these like useless things.
It was stuff that we kind of did in first year in another course.
Yeah.
Which was a little frustrating because we felt like we were just repeating what we've already been taught. I forget what the course was, but we created resumes in that course and cover letters.
Yeah. And I asked like by November, which was kind of late for applying to internships, like, okay, so when are we gonna apply? And
when
she
do
was like, you do it yourself. I'm like, I just found out about this because the whole year this whole time I thought like we were all gonna do it together like Humber, and it wasn't the case. So and then Greg's like, yeah, like one of our professors that kind of run the
He's the
internship.
coordinator
yeah,
of the program.
yeah, coordinator of the program,
And would take the lead on internships.
internships. But I thought he was gonna do the thing Humber did, and he didn't. And what it was like you fend for yourself, and he might write a reference letter for you.
Yeah.
Like you apply yourself. And by the time I found that out, I'm looking at all these internships he posted on FOL. Well, I did get the notification, but I never read those emails. So
that was on you.
Yeah, that
bud.
was a little bit on me, but I was
Because
misled.
there were deadlines on that
Yeah,
email.
and I looked at all the emails and all of the places I could apply, and the deadline's already passed. And I'm like, well, Wendy's is looking pretty good right now. Like I was broken. Like I was
You're
so
in a
mad.
messed up place because you're like, what do I
Yeah,
do? Because
I
the
was
other
like-
option, I don't know if they had this at Humber, but the other option if you didn't go on the internship was you would stay to do a capstone, which is basically a large project, which we had been doing projects all year, but this was like your final, like put to a test, all the skills you had been learned and been taught, and do a collaborative type group assignment and all get marked individually. And it's a huge,
somewhere individual.
and it's a huge mark. Okay. And the internship, if you were to go on that, is the exact same mark, but you just hand in like a first kind of like a check-in point on how it's going, a last check-in point of how it's going, and then you'd have the person who hired you onto the internship send an email to the coordinator on how you did, and then they would base your mark on all of that.
Yeah, and that was rough for me because I was like, all right, well, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. And I remember,
you looked at some places though yourself because you had told me, but you're like that's it, like that's it. I don't know how many more
yeah,
to look
because
for.
I literally applied to everything. I applied to places in LA, CNN, Warner Brothers. Like I applied to everything I could apply to because
Was it
I
all
was
still in
so
sports,
screwed.
or was it just in
Well, at
television
that
broadcast?
time, by the time I graduated Humber, I kind of knew like sports. What like I would always write about sports, but I also gained like more knowledge on other things. Civil rights was a big one, and that was something that I by the end of it I was like, okay, not many people are speaking on this. I need to
Speak up.
yeah, really. Like I wanted to do that, and so I was like, I could do because they made you like they really kind of look down on if you were a sport, and they get like so many. I know they get so many people that are like, I just want to do sports.
The internship places you're talking about?
Humber, and
Okay.
yeah, and doing work, and you would have to report on. Remember the first project? I know the first article I ever had to do. It was the first week at Humber. It was about the fall equinox. So I had to write an article about fall
That's it.
and the weather.
How was that?
Awful. It's really bad. I remember one of the quotes. Yeah, I like wearing sweaters and drinking pumpkin spice. And I'm like, this is grade A journalism right here. This is hard hitting. I was like, this is definitely what I signed up for. I was so mad. I was like, bruh, like, what is this? Like, are we actually writing about the fall equinox? And at Humber, there was a lot of like field trips that they don't pay you to do, but like you would have to go downtown to like do this. Oh my God, do this. I remember one of these things. What is it? Word on the Street. Shout out Word on the Street. I don't know if they still do that, but downtown there's this thing called Word on the Street, and it was our first thing, and it was a Saturday or Sunday morning. Bruh, I was so hungover.
Did you take the train down, or did you like?
Yeah, we had
someone's
to
car?
take. No. Did we? Maybe we took it back, but I remember one of our friends in the program, his dad drove us.
Okay.
And we all went. And it was a mess. It was a mess. I remember getting the text like, yo, I'm 5 minutes here. And I wake up, I'm not even in my room. And then I have to like run to my room. And I think I didn't. Yeah, yeah, it was a mess. It was.
So it's this project you had to do in downtown. Called Word on the Street. What did you do?
Yeah. What did we do?
Did you have to interview them?
Yeah, we had to interview, like get like sources and stuff.
But did you have to videotape it like we did at Fanshawe?
Um,
Because that project at Fanshawe was called Streeters.
Oh, Streeters, yeah. But
So
that's
it's
like
slightly
every day at Humber. So I was like, this ain't a thing to me. Like we had to do all these awkward things at Humber. So yeah, like a Word on the Street. Yeah, that was really bad. But yeah, we had to just get interviews, get sources about books. I'm like, I don't care about books, bro. So I was like, I don't hear I'm worrying about sweaters and books. Like why am I here? Why am I here? But yeah, no, that was really bad. And yeah, Humber definitely had me going through some interesting situations with their field trips.
Well, we had one at Fanshawe, and we went to Toronto.
Oh,
You were there for that.
mm-hmm.
I'm barely remembering it now, but I know we did a couple tours of a production, Dome Productions, and what was the other one? Because the TV Kids, you guys got to go to.
Oh, remember that convention? What
Yeah,
was that?
that's what I'm trying to remember.
What's it called?
I don't remember, but they
It
basically
was so
sold
sorry, bro. It
a
was
lot
so
of
bad.
like camera equipment and like
It's like why am I?
lighting.
Yeah, it's like
and it was just they just sold this stuff all day in this convention center, and you would just have to wait in there
Yeah,
until
it's
it was
like
your
I'm
turn.
a broke college student. Why am I looking at
At this-
equipment that I could never afford? Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, why am I
But
here?
the field trip was like good in the bonding sense for us.
Oh,
but
I
the-
was so pissed.
But the actual because they kicked you guys off the bus. And then you guys still at the
You
end,
remember
and
that? I don't know.
Yeah,
why.
because I got on the bus late and I wasn't told to get off, but you were told to get off and you were there like earlier. I felt so bad.
I was actually livid. I was so livid. It was so early because like I remember it was a certain time we had to get up. And
really
then,
early, like 7
yeah,
or
and
something.
but it was advertised as it was later than that, or it was earlier than that, or something like that. Like they just gave us the wrong time, and then the coordinator's son, that's in our program,
Mhm.
he was like, "Oh, it's actually this time," in the group chat, and it was earlier, and I'm like, so I only got like a few hours of sleep, and because I set my alarm to be able to, go to Tim's, eat something, and then go.
Mhm. Didn't happen.
Didn't have the time with this new time, so I'm like, bro, like I was so pissed. So I have this Powerade. That's all. That was my breakfast, and I was so hungry. And
This
I
is
was
a long bus
so
ride.
I was so tired, and I was like, and then I sit down, and then Bree's like, okay, so we need to move some people off the bus. Jefferson, RJ, bye. I'm like,
no, I think she just pulled like all the TV kids, like Justin.
no, it was no. It was like at least I think she picked like one person and then me and RJ. It wasn't just all the TV kids.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, regardless, so she
Yeah.
pulled you guys off the bus.
I was
So
so
now they had to
pissed.
go with like a different stream of our program, and they didn't really know anyone. Did you know anyone in that other stream on that other
Oh
bus?
yeah, no,
No.
they were weird. I'm kidding. But yeah, no, I didn't. I think those are the post grad VFX people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, long story short, it was a nice bonding experience when we like got there and
Yeah.
everything, but trips can always improve. I think they should get kids feedback.
Trips can always improve.
Yeah, they can. Honestly, like, they're gonna make an overnight thing and be like, "Oh, this is in.
Yeah.
You already paid for this in your tuition." It's like awesome. Why is it not like just
Yeah,
a little more
exactly.
thought out?
Well,
you know?
did you hear about the story that like really kind of almost killed this trip?
No, should we
years
talk about it
prior.
on air?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, go for it.
So there was this kid, and they were drinking the night prior, and then they go to, I don't know, was it CTV or CBC? I'm not sure.
One of
And
the
they were
big
getting,
companies.
yeah, one of the big ones, and they were touring, and they were getting a little tour, blah blah blah, and then one of the higher ups, like he was speaking, da 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 da, and this kid's like, "Yo, I'm not feeling well right now," and then he just yaks on the guy's shoes in the middle of like the
No.
newsroom, and that's kind of why it was more or less interactive our trip. And Greg was telling us that, and I'm like, yo, like I'm surprised we even had that trip.
Yeah, and they like you're of age. For the most part, people in our program were
Yeah.
of age, so you were like legal. You could go
Yeah.
out. They didn't tell you otherwise. They were very open to like if there's people dating within the program, they're like you can room with each other. Like you're adults. Like we're
Mhm.
not your parents.
Right.
Just like
Yeah.
be adults. Like
Yeah.
about it. So in that sense, it was organized
Yeah.
well, and like we had a good night. I would say.
I slept. I
Yeah.
wasn't even part of
Yeah,
that.
you didn't.
I was so asleep. RJ just left. He didn't wake me up. I was just like asleep. There's a laptop on my chest. I was
It
done.
was a long day. It was a lot of like
yeah.
standing around and then walking
Yeah.
to listen to these speakers and
Yeah.
then whatever. Anyway, okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
So, your internship, after we talked about this process of the comparison between Humber and Fanshawe, what did you get placed with? Were you happy with
At
it?
Fanshawe?
Did it help you in any sense?
At
Did you
Fanshawe?
enjoy it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so just continuing that story, it's just like, yeah, so I didn't know. And I remember this time last year, or no, this time during the Christmas break, really, I was just down. Like, I don't get sad, but I was like, fam, like, I really messed up. Like,
Because you're on edge. You're just like,
yeah, I
what
was
do
like, because I
do?
see people, even in my program at Humber, and that's like a big program, and there was a lot of bright people in that program. And the people that finished way higher in the class than I did, like, are struggling. like to find jobs and stuff. And for me, it was just like these people are smarter than me and better than me. And I see my sister; she has a job now, but it took her like 5 years to find one. I was
What was her program?
she went to she went to Fanshawe for journalism.
Okay.
For 3 years, and then York. She went to York, and then she went to Seneca for post grad. So that Seneca and York were part of those 5 years because she couldn't find a job. But yeah, so I was kind of surrounded by that yeah, that like
that we've done school, and we're looking for a job, and you're like, I'm looking for an internship, and I feel just as lost.
And it's like people from my Humber program, and it's like, bro, like this is scary. This is scary. And even when I was working at the internship at Humber, as I said, I had a suite with like one of my buddies, and it was much smaller than the Fanshawe one. It was. The rooms were good. The rooms were big, probably just as big as the Fanshawe ones, maybe even bigger. But once you come out of them, it's just a kitchenette and a bathroom, and it's like really small. So like you remember Fanshawe's res, it's like four different rooms, and it's like huge kitchen, huge main room. It wasn't like that. It was just a little kitchenette, and I just remember going back and forth from wherever I was working at. And or interning at the time, and like I wasn't able to see like nobody. It was my first taste of adulting. Like obviously I've worked before, but never in
Wendy's
kind
is
of
a little
the
different.
I never worked at Wendy's, but
patties.
if you guys are offering, like, I'll take that job still. Free Frosties or whatever they're called. But yeah, no, yeah, so it was just back and forth, and it was like, oh, I better get home early so I can just go to sleep and then do it all again tomorrow. Like for me, that was like so weird, and especially
Did you not like that feeling?
I hated that feeling to this day, and to this day I just
you don't
can't.
have enough freedom.
No, yeah, and that's kind of what I'm feeling right now, adulting, because ever since then, and like I said, how small the room was, there was periods of time where I did not see my like roommate for like 3 days, and like that's hard to do if we're just like stuck in this kind of small. But that's what it was. Like I was gone the whole day. I come back at night, and usually even if I am going to sleep, I have to be on my phone for a bit. I have to like be on my laptop for a bit or something. I literally just lay down and just like I just passed out. And
people
I was
do say you do tend to work harder when you're the entry level job. Like you grind in your younger years, hoping it'll pay off and to become something bigger and more and a little more freedom and time. But like you're grinding for the most part when you're first starting in most fields.
And what it was like I didn't have a car, so I had to go to Rexdale all the way to Scarborough, and I took transit. So the 131, if you know where that is, to was it Islington or Kipling? I forget. I think Kipling. And so that's like the first stop on the like first stop on the subway. And then I took the whole 2 line, and then almost the whole Scarborough line to Scarborough Town Center. That was like 2 hours maybe.
One way. So you're
hour
4
and a half,
hours
2 hours, yeah.
commuting.
Yeah.
5 days a week.
Yeah, that's what it was. And ever since then, I did 5 months of that. Mind you, it's not like Fanshawe where, I don't have to do class. I still had to do classes, bro.
Yeah.
I still had to do classes.
I was going to say, you hadn't answered yet. So Fanshawe, you didn't do that kind of internship. You did your internship at school.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to do a 2-hour
commute.
So you had that pro,
yeah.
But you had the con with it wasn't your first pick of what you wanted to do.
Fanshawe? Or
Fanshawe's internship second year.
Oh, well, that was the thing. Okay, so Fanshawe's internship. So ever since, Humber, I've been dreading adulting. Like I'm like, once I graduate, that's your life. That's your life. It's true. And so when I did Fanshawe, I just really wanted a job because I felt like maybe I should have went to Humber. Like maybe I should have went to Humber. Maybe I just screwed my whole life up. Because like, I thought I made a huge mistake because I was like, if you're doing media, why didn't you stay in Toronto? Da 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 da. And I was like, I was pretty down. But so once I finished, the deadline finished, I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I did the capstone thing because I couldn't find an internship.
I thought you did part.
I did,
capstone,
I did a
part
dual.
internship.
I did a dual, but
To get, because you need a certain amount of hours by the end of it.
because I finessed it because I was like, I'm doing the Junos too, and I'm doing this. I'm doing, I think I did a couple Rogers TV things, and I was
it all was adding up.
So yeah, I was like, so Greg, do you think you can split me a deal here and maybe make me do half the capstones? And he's like, yeah, sure. I was like, yes, because there was so many, especially the TV capstones where we had to do all this stuff.
A lot of work.
A lot of work.
Well, that's what a capstone essentially is, but it's nice that you were able to dip your feet in so many.
And yeah.
You never really got bored, I feel like, that sense, because you always... Okay.
Well, definitely not a dull moment in that program. Definitely not a dull moment in the
Always busy.
TV. Shout out TV program. Holy. There was a lot of drama there, but never a dull moment. But yeah, so I was kind of like, I was asking Greg, like, do you know anybody? Do you, like, again, like I was saying, like, man, like, I don't know what to do. And I'm applying to all these places, not hearing anything back. I literally probably applied to like 30 plus, something crazy. I was desperate. And
a lot of people did get to that
yeah,
limit.
I was scrambling because I knew like,
Well, I didn't get mine till a couple weeks prior
yeah.
to start date. A friend of ours, Jeremy Brand,
Shout out.
he didn't get his till I think a week into the internship. So
Wow.
he able to, because they were longer days that he'd work, and don't quote me on this because I could be messing this up a little, but he just worked, I think, longer days, and he still ended up being on time with getting his hours when he needed them. But he was on a movie or TV show set. But yeah, back to your point about you do it all day and then you go home and you just want to sleep and then you do it all again the next day. He had the same mentality where he was like, I can't even get to the gym. Like, if I get to the gym, that's it. Like, I don't have time for the social life or the...
Facts. You can pick one thing.
Yeah.
Pick one thing after work.
Do you want to look fit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When
do you
want to
look
see a movie or
yeah,
like
exactly.
read a book or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that internship was definitely a stressful part in a lot of, I would say, our students' points in the semester.
Right.
What would you say how do I word this? Like the rate of how many people had got internships at Humber compared to Fanshawe, like in your class?
I think Humber had a few people that were missing internships.
But for the most
or
part, it was
late.
high?
No, I think almost everybody. I think almost everybody. There's some people late to the game, but almost everybody by the end of it had their internship.
So how many were
Fanshawe?
in your class? Do you know?
By the end of it, probably like 40. 30,
Okay, so out of that 40, do you think 30 maybe would have got internships?
30 plus, yeah.
That's really good.
Definitely. Yeah.
And
They do it for you, man.
Fanshawe, it's sad to say.
like maybe like 30%.
This is how it starts. Half of us or more think we're getting internships, and then it ends up being we're capstones. There's way more of people doing those than the internships because there wasn't that huge resource help center that Humber had.
And you got
our rate was
and
lower.
the thing is, like, I missed the emails, but at least be in the middle of the class. I had class with like Greg every day. Shout out Greg. He yelled me a lot though. But could have at least been like, hey, I just posted a thing if you want internships, like maybe in person, because like I didn't look at the emails.
There's a reason why he didn't do that, and you know why?
Yeah, because
everyone,
responsibility.
No, everyone would be emailing, and it's only for those people that do check their emails and are on top of it.
Well, I guess I didn't make the cut. Well, yeah, and so, but yeah, all the things I was saying when I was scrambling, this was second semester, so I'm already late in the game because I was sitting there and like the winter break the whole time, like just listening to like Marvin's Room and like watching like Young Sheldon at like 3 a.m. I was like, I was in a different space. Yeah. But yeah, no, I was like, but when I get back, I'm gonna grind. Like I'm gonna find an internship. Like nothing is going to stop me from finding an internship. And so I apply all these places, don't hear back. And I remember when I applied to a Bell Media internship that I didn't get. They also had a summer semester internship, an option, and I was like, oh, maybe I could do that, but this whole time I was kind of wondering. I was like, well, I'm kind of have to need the school's insurance. Maybe like, cause I emailed them and I was like, well,
Emailed the internship place.
yeah, I was like, yo, like, how about if I graduate this past, like, cause I was in a predicament. And I was like, how about if I'm graduating this upcoming spring, and will I still be eligible for it? And I was wondering that, and
What'd they say?
and they didn't hit me back, and so I'm kind of stressing, and I was like, well, I'm gonna send it in anyway. I was like, yo, Greg, like, hit me with this reference letter, because I already applied for their winter one, didn't get it. Spring came along, and I was like, I've already applied to this camp. Shout out GA. But yeah, like, I already applied to this camp, but like, this is it. Like, this is my last shot. This is it, or I'm gonna be eating freezies at this camp on my Indeed app the whole summer.
Yeah.
And so I send that in, don't hear anything back for months, and I'm like, I didn't get this either. And I remember the second last day before moving out, I wake up, I get this email, and they're like, yo, you're accepted, blah, blah, blah. And this was way after like, maybe they passed up on people, and they're like, oh, maybe this guy.
You have no idea how.
Yeah,
it went.
I don't know how it worked, but it was way past like when I should have heard back.
You were done school at this point.
I was done. I was moving out the next.
He was packing his boxes, guys.
Yeah, well, I was asleep, but like,
Okay,
yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
Hypothetically,
No, my
speaking,
my
were
boxes
leaving.
were already packed. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So
I
you got
wake up.
accepted?
It was like 10, 11, and I'm like, oh my god. So they're like, but we need your insurance. Da 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 da. Because the way I finessed it was, because me and Greg before this had so many meetings. I was like, if I were to get accepted, what are we gonna do? And he was like, well, you're gonna have to take a summer semester course to be
He
able
spoke
to.
about that to me too. He's like,
Yeah.
you either have to fail one
Yeah.
and like
Yeah, but I was like,
retake it.
will I be able to graduate on time? And he wasn't sure. So I'm like, this is the biggest risk, because I talked to my mom about it. She's like, hell no, you're finishing like school on time. That's huge for your resume. Like,
Yeah.
you need to finish school on time. That's the most important thing. So I was in this predicament, either, chance it with this internship and say, if I don't even get the job or even get the internship alone, I'm not gonna finish in time. Or, I finish on time, don't get the internship. And again, Greg, broke a deal with me. He's like, okay, so you can't, if you do the capstone like this, boom, like, you're done. You can graduate on time, but you're going to also have to pay an extra like this to.
Yeah, that's
know.
what the downfall is. You'll have to pay
Yeah.
the fee to
Yeah.
cover yourself.
I was like,
guess,
yeah.
For
It
insurance
was
sake.
not a lot. And I was like, say no more. Like,
So you did it.
So I did it. So I paid the thing. I got
it a lot?
accepted. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot. So, but when I woke up and got that email, I was like, and they're like, oh, we need your insurance. I'm like, oh God. So I get up, and that day, thank God, that day, it was a weekend. So I was probably never going to see Greg again. Because I was done his classes. I was done his classes, and, I was never going to see Greg again. Like, cause I was moving like the next day. And, but thankfully there was like, they were still doing, since I only had to do half the capstone, they were still doing capstone. And one of the productions was in the gym that day, and Greg was there.
You
And
gotta
I
thank
knew
your
that.
Lucky stars, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Like,
did you run down to the
oh
gym?
man, like, I got up. I don't even think I just put like joggers over my pajama pants and
You ran
just
down
ran
there.
out with the same shirt, and just like
Sprinted
I
to-
I sprinted through the campus.
And you had no idea he was at the gym, or you just
I knew he was at the gym,
you weren't sure for how long.
but
or-
yeah, I wasn't sure how long. And I get there, Bree's there, and she's just like, yeah, like, I think he stepped out, but like, I'll let you know, like, da da da. So I'm like, I need to know now. I need
I'm
to.
leaving.
Yeah, I know exactly. And I'm searching. I even found Marilyn in what is it called? The pit. I haven't said that in a while. But yeah, it's the computer lab for the TV/film people. But yeah, we go in, I go in and I see her there. I'm like, have you seen Greg? Have you? Like, I was asking everybody. And she's like, no, well, congratulations. And she was like having this huge like conversations. And I
She's
think
like
it's
that.
great. Like you're
like,
getting
"Really?
this.
I
I
gotta
know.
go."
She's like, I think it's great you're having this opportunity. I always love to see like old students of mine that I'm like, all right, bet, like I gotta go. So yeah, so I get back to my room and he calls me. He's like,
Thank
yeah,
God.
yeah. He calls me and he's like, yeah, like da da da. We can do it up like this. Da 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 da. I'm like, okay, cool. And the rest is, and then I did the internship.
Through the summer?
Yeah, through
So
the summer.
What months? How long is it 8 weeks, 12 weeks?
It was 6 weeks.
Okay.
And the thing was, I was stressing. So, like I said, I already signed up to do this camp because I didn't think I was gonna be able
Can't
to
you
get a
not
job.
back out, though?
I
Like, if
think
you
I had
get
a
a-
chance to back out, but like, if you know, you know. Camp. I won't say the name, but the camp I was at, it was a lot of fun. And I think I was able to like finesse kind of the hours and do both. I had to leave the camp an hour early, but
Hey, whatever works.
yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
you're getting
Because
paid
I
to be at the
asked
camp,
like
right?
I asked one of the head staff of my unit. I was like, bro, like this is what's happening right now, and he's like, all right, bet like like an hour, like you're just gonna miss like the last like half hour of like the activities and then dismissal. And I'm like, say no more. So yeah, so I did it I started in May, and then when I didn't know how long it was gonna be, so that whole time I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to do this camp. I was like, I kind of wanted to, get my last year in that camp. I've been working there for like 3 years or 2 years at that point, and then this year was my third, and
And it's paid.
yeah, the internship's not paid.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the camp was.
The
So you're
camp
like,
was.
I get to do
Yeah,
my experience
exactly.
and get paid.
And get paid and have fun, yeah. And so yeah, so that's basically what it was. And so he was like, I get there the first day. He's like, so we're gonna have you at 6 weeks, and tell me how that last day of the sixth week is the day before pre-camp, which is like job training for that day. So like when camp starts. I was like, yo, this is working out right now. Like, I'm going to get hit by a bus because this is like too many good things are happening right now. And so, yeah, like, so I was able to do that. And then I remember the last day, because like everybody that worked there, like, yeah, like the last day internship, like he usually the guy that like hires people, he usually like calls you in and, either tells you got it or not. And,
like to hire you on.
Yeah, as like the internship. So that last day, I was kind of stressing a little bit. I was trying to keep the mentality. I was like, yo, either way, you're blessed because
This is a great experience to even be able to have the opportunity
like,
to do.
yeah, exactly. This is a great like experience. And if not, then you can enjoy yourself at the camp and find your next step because you have some things on your resume that could really help you out. And I'm sitting there. He hasn't this is kind of towards the end of the day. And I'm like, oh man, like, cause at that time I was like, I do want to have fun at this camp. But at the same time, I was like, I need this. Like, I need this. Cause it's like, I don't want to be sitting around for 5 years waiting. I was like, I'd rather have this job than
Literally on the edge of my seat,
Yeah,
being
I
like,
was
tell me
like-
the rest.
I'd rather have this job than, and I love this camp. Like my heart is at that camp. Like I love this camp. I love it as much as anybody else. But at the same time, I was like, I need this job. And I'm just sitting there, like doing my work, whatever. And he comes in. The guy comes in. He goes in. He sees me in the room. I don't think he saw me. Like he obviously saw me. It's not a big room. He's talking to everybody else. Talks to everybody. I was like, okay, he's gonna when he walks out.
Turn.
Yeah, he's gonna walk out and be like, oh, Jefferson, can I see you for 1 sec? And and then he's just talking to everybody. He's like, all right, see ya. He just dips. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna cry now.
As if he's gonna leave for the day.
No, like he just left. I don't know where he's going.
Just left the room.
Yeah, just left the room, and I was like, okay. And yeah, like I was like, man, like, all right. And yeah, so I was like, all right. This was like the last hour of my shift, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna act like I'm going to the washroom. I have to walk by his office to get in the washroom. If he's there, I'm just gonna walk by and see what happens. All right, I'm just gonna leave the washroom, guys. 1 second. I walk by his office, and he's like, "Hey, Jeff, can I see you for 1 second?" I'm
Like, my
"Get in,"
moment.
like, yeah, let's go. And then he's like, "Okay, you didn't get the job, did it?" I'm kidding. Yeah. So I go in there, and he's like, "I've been hearing a lot of good things. Blah blah blah. You're hired. Blah blah blah." So I was like, "Oh my god, thank you." Da 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 da. And the rest is history. Like,
And you're there
and
now.
that's what I'm doing right now.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that was the transition, guys.
Yeah.
That was my live reaction right there. Oh my gosh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that transition was right from your internship.
Yeah.
So your lucky stars really lined up.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially
back what
yeah.
you were feeling in December, November, complete switch
Yeah.
to now.
Mm-hmm.
So now you are, let's talk about this a little bit, a video editor and content.
Digital content editor. Yeah.
I still
You
can't
got
get
it.
the
You
second
got
name.
it.
So what kind of tasks are you assigned now? And do you like what you're doing? Is it
so-
full time?
Yeah, so basically I started out, I was hired on as a video editor, and basically I just do edit footage for the newscast, and
And it goes up live to air?
yeah, live to air. Reports are hard. Reports are hard sometimes.
Do you get help?
No. It's literally, and that's the thing too, it's literally you in an editing suite by yourself, and then your supervisor is like, okay, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this.
Okay, so it's not social.
It's not. And for me, it's like, it's kind of
social, like,
yeah, I'm
guy.
like yo, who's
Let
trying
me
to
out
drink?
and see the people.
Yeah, who's trying to drink Henny tonight? And everybody's like 60, and it's like, oh, okay.
Are you the youngest there?
I am a baby. I'm a fetus, actually. I was a baby in Humber. I'm a fetus here. I swear to God, like I am so young.
What's the average range there?
Let's just say they're old enough to be my parents. Like,
There's
yeah.
nobody, not even a person that's close.
but that's the thing. As a digital content editor, when I'm doing the website, they're a little younger. They're like 30s, late
Okay.
20s.
You can kind of relate.
Yeah, kind of.
So is this a 9 to 5er?
It's a 9 hour. It's a 9 hour thing for video editing. It's 9 hour. For the website, it's 8 hours.
So how is this split throughout the week?
Well, as you know, media is a shift work. It's shift work, so you get shifts when you can. Sometimes I work weekends. Sometimes, every week's different. They'll call you up. They'll call you because yesterday I was supposed to have a day off because I was like, okay, I gotta get up early to do this podcast, so that's perfect. And they're like, oh, can you come in? Someone called in sick. I'm like, I'm gonna die. So
It's hard. And you
yeah.
can't really say no when you're the new guy either. Right?
I know, yeah. Like sometimes you do, because sometimes like you actually like
Need to
plan something on your day
Yeah,
off, you know.
100%.
So like yeah, so
But is there a lot of times where you have been like,
all the time. I'm like, who's calling in sick this much? But I'm not complaining. I'm getting the hours, you know. I'm
so is
like,
it paid hourly?
yes,
Okay.
yes, and yeah, it's great. I'm so yeah.
So you're happy you made it.
Yeah, I hate
In a
when people
sense.
say I hate
sense.
when people say, "Oh, you made it."
You're
I'm
on
like,
the step
man,
of
I'm
the path that you want to take.
I'm treading water right now.
Okay.
I'm treading water right now. I didn't make it yet, but yeah, like man, yeah. I yeah.
So you've been working there officially then, like, okay, your internship was May?
Yeah.
And then you got hired on June?
Mm-hmm.
So June till now?
June till now. That's like about 6 months, right? So
How long's your commute?
oh, it's not far. It's about half-hour drive.
Way better than your 2-hour commute back in the day.
Yeah.
That's an
Yeah.
hour in total.
But I'm
half there,
still
half back.
feeling the adulting.
I know.
It's so hard.
With jobs like that, it is a little less freedom.
Because like yeah, it's not a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. It's whenever. It's literally whenever.
Well, you're the new guy.
24/7.
That's
exactly.
what you take,
exactly.
right?
I hate being new at things too.
I know.
I feel so. And the thing is, like, you know me, like I'm a sociable guy, and what I've learned from this internship more than anything else is like I have no idea how to talk to adults. I have no idea. Because I just
you
don't.
can't say, yo, fam.
I'm not. Yeah, it's like, yo, fam, what's good? No, it's not. It's not like that. It's like, oh yeah, hey, like your daughter's doing piano lessons. That's sick, bro. It's not like that. Like you can't do that. So I have no idea how to.
Because you've always been
To
around
have
your
dialogue.
peers, kind
Yeah.
of. Even at your internships, was it more?
Yeah, internships where I worked, they were a lot younger. So it was easier. But I just don't like being the new guy. And it was funny because like at the camp, Like I was able to be myself.
Because it's camp.
Like
They're
it's camp.
kids.
It's fun. I
They're
know.
kids.
Do you work
I
at a
did.
camp?
I did
Yeah.
for 4 summers.
Oh yeah.
4 or 5. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I started camp leader and worked my way up to supervisor. And
Okay.
yeah, it's very, very much so.
Yeah.
Like you can be silly, you can do
Yeah.
whatever. Like at the end of the day, they're kids. Like,
Yeah.
they're not adults taking you
Mhm.
seriously,
Exactly.
right? And paying you
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah. But at the same time, like at camp, I don't even have to overextend. Like I'm just myself.
Exactly.
I'm just myself.
Well, eventually
And
you'll find that realm. It's just learning how to talk and speak and hold
I
conversation.
can't
in a
do
more
small.
professional-
I can't do small talk. I'm actually socially like I was like I'm socially awkward. What the heck is going on? I never knew that. I never knew that about myself. Because I was just like, because they're like, the weather is pretty good outside.
I find that people
I'm
always
like,
talk about the weather.
I don't care. And it's like over the weekend, yeah, and I put some Scott Turf Builder in my lawn, and things are looking good. I'm like,
you
okay,
have
sick.
no relation.
Okay,
Like,
yeah,
I don't
okay,
do
sick.
that.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
My dad does that. Like, I don't know.
So, if you had to give advice to someone who is choosing to go away to school or not go to school at all, or sorry, not go away to school, but go to school in general or not go to school at all, what are some of the benefits you think come from school? Is it social aspects? Is it education? Is it both? What is your opinion?
Oh, that's a good point. It's both. It's both, definitely. Education, first and foremost, education is super important. It is the most important thing, and people are saying, oh, like education's losing its value. It depends. It depends where you go and what you want to do, and where you go to learn it. And if you're doing something that's hands-on, as we're kind of trying to do, you gotta find a hands-on program, a hands-on place to do so, because lectures can only teach you so much.
And it really depends on the person, I find. So,
Mhm.
university versus college, what do you think are the pros?
Uh,
Like for yourself, you said hands-on was good.
yeah, hands-on. Like if you're doing something like media, lectures
gotta
can
get-
only get you so far.
you
You
gotta get
have
in
to
there.
do it. You have
Mhm.
to do it. And for universities, they're good for,
Like doctors.
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, doctors, engineering, like lawyers, something of that
Nature.
tier. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. But if you're gonna do construction, if you're gonna do media, if you're gonna do something like that's hands-on and needs to be practical, I would recommend college, because especially, I mean, I don't know about other colleges, but that Humber, internship program, like that saved my life. So, because yeah, like if
Taught
you
you
get
a
a
lot.
good, if you have a good co-op, I think that's the most important. If you're looking at a school, make sure just to know like what the co-op situation, what
Do
the
your
internship.
research well in
Yes,
advance.
because I was sitting there waiting, and then it turned out, we
So
all
that's
know.
your biggest
But
piece of advice. you
yeah,
give.
yeah, internship is the biggest thing. That's what gets you jobs.
And if there's someone who has impacted your life in any sense, like small or large, who do you think that would be? To
The
this date?
most?
Yeah.
The most. Everybody's done their part. Shout out my mom. I love you, mom. Yeah, she is my everything. She's
Mhm.
my everything. Yeah. I know. I don't think I've ever told a lot of people this. I don't think I've told anybody this really, but like my main goal in life. This is my biggest goal in life,
Mhm.
is to be able to just be able to get enough money so I can buy my mother a car. Like that is my
heart.
biggest goal. Like that's what I'm grinding for. So, yeah.
Manifest it.
Yeah, no,
You can do
speaking into existence. That's what I'm trying to do. But I'm in a position right now where like if I keep going, that's possible. And couldn't do it without a lot of people, but mostly
Your mom.
my mom.
So, any influential advice you've ever been given throughout either like
Mm.
growing up in school or in any of your internships? Did anyone say anything that stuck with you that you're like, I'm gonna live by that? Like that's an awesome point.
Not necessarily about life, but I think the main theme of working in media specifically, I've been hearing, and which is true, which I've come to find out is true, is do everything. All
Say
the
yes.
yeah, exactly.
To
All
as many
the
opportunities as possible.
exactly. So in terms of just like the positions you want to do, it just keeps you around longer, because the media is ever evolving, right? So you're gonna have to do. There's a lot of new things and you got to keep up. You got to keep up, and the more positions you do, the more things you can cover. Is more well-rounded you are, the more chance they're gonna keep you around. So, that's definitely something. Great advice.
All right. And are you happy with the direction you're going in with life now? Like, what are your next steps?
I've been out here for 3 days. I don't know. I just got I literally just got. It feels like I just started working. It's been half a year, but man, I don't know. It's a great opportunity what I'm at right now, and for what I can see, maybe I go into something more. And where I'm at, a lot of really scattered, but where I'm at right now, it covers a lot of ground. Like it's a national network. Like there's a lot of things to do.
I'm sure within that company, there's a lot to grow.
Exactly. And for example, like I was just a video editor for the first couple months. And then in August, they said, we need people with they saw I had a journalism background. And they're like, okay, we need you in the website. So you do headline writing, captions for the videos on the national website. So they're like, okay, this is what you're going to do. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, all right, bet. So that's where they put me because of the journalism background. So that's something else I can do. Cause if I was just doing video editing, I wouldn't be getting a lot of shifts. But
so
now that I do
credentials, you're credible. Is that the word I'm trying to look for? Like they see what you have
Yeah.
as your background. They're like, okay, you're
Yeah.
not just a video editor, but you're also a journalist. So this
yeah.
makes you perfect fit for this job,
Yeah,
and you
exactly,
can succeed in
exactly.
it faster than someone else maybe.
Yeah. So I do. So I can do both, and that's one of the things where it's like if I can do as much as I can. So I'm looking at different positions. Like I think I'm actually gonna send an email like this week saying like, oh, I want to start training in this now, because I'm trying to get a hold of.
Show that you're open.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Exactly. Because
otherwise you'll be stuck in the same position for a while until someone
exactly.
comes around, and you don't want to wait for someone to ask you. You want to be like, hey, I'm an eager young individual who wants to
learn,
move to the next step. And yeah, exactly.
So definitely. So I'm definitely comfortable at where I'm projected going. I really want to get a hang of this adulting thing. Because literally it just feels like I'm just working. And I like.
One day, do you see yourself wanting to have a job that is more like entrepreneurial or more flexible for you so you can do more?
Definitely.
Like what?
I don't know, something that makes me like able to, go to the gym or see my friends more often. But that's life. That's life. That's work. Balance. So I'm gonna work on that balance. But when I go home, I just want to sleep. I don't want to go work out. I don't want to go see my friends.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really hard.
It's unmotivating when you're tired.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember when I was just doing, camp, for instance, it was 8 to 3. It was I go home, and go to the gym. I have time to see my friends. It was nothing. But when you're doing this, 10 to 6, and then, you get home at 6:37, it's tough. It's really tough.
How many hours do you have left in the day?
It's different. Yeah, exactly. Nothing.
I gotta get 8 hours of sleep too.
Okay, so you pick one thing: sleep, socialize, or So it's really hard, and I'm kind of struggling with a little bit. But as of right now, I'm good where I'm at. Maybe I could, if I could do something more team oriented, I think that would fit me better. But at the same time, it's just a start. I'm just starting out here, so it's a good launch pad, I guess. So I love where I'm at, but we'll see.
Okay, and last question: can we touch on your YouTube channel?
Is
that something?
Go ahead.
Do you still do it?
No, because I don't have time, and I'm so mad. That's why when I say when I see your whole, oh God, when I almost knocked over the mic. When I see your whole setup, I'm like, good for you. Yeah, I'm like, good. No, it doesn't even motivate. It should, but I'm like, I can't do it. It should motivate me, and I go home and I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna play FIFA and go to bed. But no, when I see you with this whole setup and everything, I'm like, okay, I see it, because it's I know how hard it is, and I see you with the Instagram stories with the when you upload, I'm like, good for you, because it's I cannot keep I can't do it.
I appreciate that.
I can't do it.
It is. It's I could never understand people. Well, I mean, I can, but I find it mind-boggling. Like girls that at least that I followed throughout, like growing up, that went off to school and were in sororities and were still able to hold a YouTube channel and an Instagram and have them both grow, and are getting paid by their videos and getting sponsored. And I'm like, but how can you do it all? Like I follow a girl that works at L'Oreal Paris, which is a huge makeup brand in New York, and she also has a podcast and she uploads videos, and she was the one that used to go to like school and was in a sorority, and I'm like, and she ran her magazine at school, and I'm like that's literally what I aspire to be, but like how like something has to give. It's either the gym, the relationship, like something. So now that I have my schedule is working part-time as bartender and server, I'm able to take those funds, put them where I need to, and then be able to put all my energy into this in YouTube. So that's how it's possible.
That's great. Good for you.
Back to you. So you had these YouTube videos based on what kind of genre of content?
Yeah, they're video game commentary. I started that like third year of Humber.
Well, you're a good speaker. Like you sound, what you're talking about, and you have like a good personality, and you're really fun on it.
Thanks.
I'm not really huge into gaming, but I've watched like a couple. I'm like, no, like the flow. Like if you were to take it seriously and like take it far.
Yeah. Ah, man, I know, and I feel sorry for my friends because every time I'm like, yo, I'm about to blow, like this is gonna be great, like da da da, and I just quit like 2 months later. But I just need to like get on it because it's so tough, and that's what I'm saying. Like if I had a desktop, if I had a setup, it would be good because I have to use my like to record, what's it called, to record like the footage. With my voice and everything, I have to do it all off my like MacBook and plug everything in. Blah blah blah.
Man,
it's tough. But
so do you do it with a mic, or do you just talk freely into the speaker of the MacBook?
No, it's a mic.
Okay.
There's a mic, USB mic, and I just sit in front of it, and then So it's oh man, now you're making me want to go back on it because I just man, I should do it. But
you really like it?
I do really like it, but it's like labor. It is, and especially editing the thing. And I feel like when I'm doing editing for work, I'm like, I could implement this, like kind of the skills, because I've learned a lot of like shortcuts, and because it took me
Premiere. What do you use to edit?
Premiere, okay. And the shortcuts I use to edit is like, it makes the job much easier.
And quicker,
and quicker,
yeah.
Because that's the thing too, is like editing, it was such a struggle, and it took me hours. It took me literally hours to edit these things, and because I put so many edits on there too, and it's like, damn, like I wish I did something else, maybe for a YouTube channel that
didn't
required
involve
less,
so
much setup.
But I feel like in most genres, unless it's just a straight up talking head video, the editing does start to evolve, especially with where we are now in 2019. Like just straight cuts aren't going to cut it anymore. You see everything that's being done out there, and like even vlogs are so cinematic and they look like movie scenes, and you're like, now we need drones to get shots of like what we're doing in life. But that's the way the world's going. So it's awesome that you're learning these shortcuts and stuff to get through that motion faster.
Oh man, I remember that day that I found out that you found out about my YouTube channel.
Yeah, a little birdie told me.
Nuno.
He told me, please don't tell him I told you, because he's gonna get so mad at me. And
I told you, I was like, Nuno, just make sure no one knows. He's like, yeah, I got you, man, I got you. And then I get a text from you. I'm at the gym, and I knew you guys were like out or something. And I get a text from you. You're like, oh my God, like your YouTube videos are so funny.
I think it was at a pre. It was at my house.
Yeah.
I think. And he showed me. I was like, no way. He's like, yeah, I'll find it for you. And he like,
no, bro. Oh my God.
Googled it. And then I don't know who I was with. I have no idea. But I remember like watching a little clip of it and being like, shh. I was like,
oh my God. Yeah, shout out to Finesse Sports though. I'm gonna start promoting that. I need to get back on that. But yeah, I remember getting that like text review, and I'm like, I didn't even fight. I just went straight to do it. I was like, bro, why did you do this? No, but it's all good. It's all good. It was, I need to start actually taking it serious. I think, it would be a good hobby to take up. on my spare time if I have spare time. But
Some point in the near
yeah,
future, we hope.
exactly.
We hope.
Yeah, I hope.
Before
yeah.
you get run down to the ground as an editor.
Exactly. I think I'm already there.
6 months in.
Yeah, 6 months in,
Man.
I'm retiring. I swear.
Well,
It's
is
tough.
there anything else you want to add to this episode?
No.
No.
Read your Bible, drink your water.
Stay hydrated,
Yeah,
kids.
exactly.
We'll plug your socials then.
Oh, what do I want to promote? Yeah, YouTube channel, Finesse Sports.
How's it spelled?
Oh.
I don't know if everyone knows how to spell
Yeah. FINESSE SPORTS. I did journalism. That took me that took a lot of brain power. Yeah, just the regular way of spelling that.
And then do you have, like,
Instagram, it's what is it? Jeff Marshall -12 or just 12? I know the -12
He's
is
asking as if I
yeah,
should
no,
have
I
it
don't know.
memorized.
I think the -12 is Snapchat. So, and then without the dash, that's my Instagram. You'll find it.
So Jeff.Marshall12.
Jeff Marshall.
'Kay.
Yeah, 12.
And then do you have Twitter you want to plug, or do you not use that?
No, I don't use that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter.
I don't use it either.
Yeah.
We're better than that.
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly.
kidding. Well, thank you so much for coming.
No, thanks for
on.
having me.
I
Seriously.
really appreciate you
Yeah.
making the drive out. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. All the details will be in the show notes, so you'll have timestamps to see kind of what topics we cover, what times. Don't forget to give this episode a rating, preferably 5 stars. It really, really helps. And if you guys could write a written review. But yeah, thanks again for being on.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.